Hey there, sleep-deprived warriors and restless souls. Ever feel like your brain's got its own 24/7 rave going on, just when you're trying to catch some much-needed snooze? Like your mind's a browser with 50 tabs open, all screaming for attention the second your head hits the pillow. Yeah, you're not alone. We've all been there, staring at the ceiling, playing mental Tetris with our worries, and wishing for the sweet oblivion of slumber. But what if I told you there's an ancient philosophy, born in the bustling streets of Athens, that holds the secret to conquering those nocturnal battles? A philosophy not about fancy robes and philosophical beard stroking, but about real-world mental toughness and chill vibes? I'm talking about Stoicism, the OG self-help guide for living your best life, and as it turns out, for sleeping like a baby. Now, before you picture me lecturing you in a toga, let me assure you, this isn't about becoming a monk or giving up your Netflix addiction. This is about practical, actionable wisdom that can seriously revolutionize your relationship with sleep. Because let's be real, in our always-on, hyper-connected world, where stress and anxiety are practically national pastimes, getting a good night's sleep feels like winning the lottery. Stoicism, with its laser focus on virtue, resilience, and mental control, is having a serious moment right now. Why? Because it gives us the tools to navigate this crazy, complex world without losing our minds or our sleep. It teaches us to zoom in on what we can control, our thoughts, our actions, our reactions, and gracefully let go of the stuff we can't. And guess what? This applies directly to our sleep woes. Think about it. You can't force yourself to fall asleep, right? That's an uncontrollable. But you can control what you do before bed, how you react to a restless night, and even how you think about sleep itself. Mind blown, right? So, if you're tired of counting sheep, and probably failing miserably, stick around. Because in the next few minutes, we're going to dive deep into how Stoic practices can transform your bedtime routine from a battlefield into a blissful sanctuary. Get ready to embrace the Stoic path to dreamland, where you're the master of your mind, and sleep isn't just a fantasy, it's your new reality. Let's do this. Stoic principles for better sleep. Master your sleep. Master your life. All right, let's get down to brass tacks. The absolute cornerstone of Stoic wisdom, the very bedrock upon which we'll build our fortress of slumber, is the idea of acceptance and control. This isn't just some abstract philosophical concept. It's a superpower when it comes to sleep. You see, the Stoics were all about recognizing the fundamental truth. Some things are within our power, and some things are absolutely, unequivocally not. Your thoughts, your actions, your choices, those are firmly in your court. The weather, the stock market, whether your cat decides to wake you up at 3 a.m. with a hairball symphony? Yeah, not so much. Now, apply this to sleep. Can you snap your fingers and magically fall asleep the instant your head touches the pillow? Probably not, unless you're a wizard. Can you guarantee exactly 8 hours of uninterrupted, blissful REM sleep every single night? Nope. Those are external events, biological processes, and frankly, sometimes just the universe messing with you. Trying to force sleep is like trying to nail Jell-O to a tree. Frustrating, messy, and ultimately futile. But here's where the Stoic magic happens. While you can't control when you fall asleep or the duration of your sleep, you have immense control over the inputs that influence your sleep. Think of it like this. You can't control if it rains, but you can control if you bring an umbrella. Similarly, you can't control the exact moment sleep overtakes you, but you can control your sleep environment, your pre-sleep routines, and most powerfully, your thoughts and reactions to not sleeping. Embracing this principle is a game changer because it immediately slashes through that insidious beast known as pre-sleep anxiety. You know the one, that nagging voice that whispers, "Oh my God, what if I don't sleep tonight? I'll be a zombie tomorrow. My presentation will suck. My boss will hate me. I'll never achieve my dreams." It's a spiral, a mental black hole that sucks away any hope of rest. But when you truly grasp the Stoic idea of acceptance, that anxiety starts to lose its grip. You tell yourself, okay, I can't control if sleep comes immediately, but I can control that I'm going to create the most comfortable, serene environment possible. I can control that I'm going to follow my calming bedtime routine, and I can control how I choose to react if sleep doesn't arrive as quickly as I'd like. Instead of fretting over the uncontrollable outcome, you channel your energy, your focus, and your intention into the things you can influence. It's like shifting from being a passenger in a runaway car to being the driver. Even if the car is just slowly inching forward, you regain a sense of agency. Let's get practical. How do we put this acceptance and control thing into action for better sleep? One powerful technique is journaling before bed. Not just a casual scribble, but a deliberate act of downloading your brain's entire chaotic operating system onto paper. Think of your mind as a cluttered desk. Before you can relax, you need to clear off the piles of papers, the half-eaten snacks, the miscellaneous gadgets. Journaling is that mental decluttering. Spend 10 to 15 minutes, or even just 5, writing down everything that's buzzing in your head. Worries, to-do lists, unresolved conflicts, brilliant ideas you're afraid you'll forget. Don't filter, don't judge, just let it flow. When you write these things down, you're not just emptying your mind, you're externalizing those anxieties. You're telling your brain, okay, I've acknowledged this. It's on paper now. I don't need to keep replaying it on an endless loop until morning. It gives you a sense of having handled those thoughts for the night, creating a psychological distance. You're effectively saying, this worry is important, but it's not urgent right now. It can wait until tomorrow. This simple act of putting pen to paper can drastically reduce the mental chatter that often keeps us awake. It creates a boundary between your waking concerns and your sleep space. Another fantastic Stoic-aligned practice is meditation. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Meditation? I can't even sit still for 5 minutes, let alone clear my mind for sleep. But hear me out. Meditation isn't about achieving a completely blank mind. It's about training your attention. It's about noticing your thoughts without getting swept away by them. It's about observing the show without becoming a character in it. Think of your mind like a river. Thoughts are the leaves floating by. Most of us grab onto every leaf, examine it, judge it, and then ride it down the river, often into a waterfall of anxiety. Stoic-inspired meditation teaches you to simply observe the leaves floating by without grabbing them. You acknowledge them. Oh, there's a thought about tomorrow's meeting. Interesting. And then you let it continue its journey down the river. You don't engage, you don't fight. You just observe. There are tons of guided meditations available specifically for sleep. These often use body scan techniques, where you gently bring your attention to different parts of your body, noticing sensations without judgment. Or they might focus on your breath, the simple rhythmic act of inhaling and exhaling. These aren't just feel-good exercises. They're training your brain to switch from an active, problem-solving mode to a relaxed, receptive state. By focusing your attention on your body or your breath, you're essentially giving your mind a single, calming task, diverting it from the endless loop of worries. So, the next time you find yourself tossing and turning, remember, you can't force sleep, but you can cultivate the conditions for it. You can control your reaction to not sleeping. You can choose to externalize your worries through journaling. And you can train your mind to be present and calm through meditation. It's about playing the long game, focusing on the controllables, and trusting that when you do your part, sleep will eventually do its. It's a powerful shift from helpless victim to empowered architect of your own rest. Mindfulness and the present moment. Anchor yourself in now. Drift to sleep later. All right, let's talk about another heavy hitter in the Stoic toolkit that's an absolute game changer for sleep. Mindfulness and the present moment. If your brain's a time machine constantly zipping back to past regrets or hurtling forward into future anxieties, then this one's for you. Because let's be real, how many times have you tried to fall asleep only to replay an embarrassing moment from last week or stress about an upcoming deadline? It's like your brain decided to host its own highlight reel of things that keep you awake at night. The Stoics knew this struggle. They understood that dwelling on what's already happened, which we can't change, or what might happen, which we can't control, is a surefire path to mental anguish. Their antidote, focusing on the present moment. This isn't about ignoring your problems. It's about acknowledging that the only moment you truly have power over is right now. And when it comes to sleep, being present is like hitting the off switch on your internal worry machine. Think about it. Sleep is an act of surrender. You have to let go. And it's incredibly difficult to let go when your mind is busy relitigating last Tuesday's awkward conversation or drafting mental emails for next Monday. Mindfulness is the practice of gently bringing your attention back to what's happening right here, right now. The feeling of your pillow, the sound of your breath, the quiet hum of the refrigerator. These are your anchors to the present. So, how do we practically apply this Stoic wisdom to our sleep routine? Let's dive into some awesome mindfulness exercises. First up, the body scan. This is a classic for a reason. Lie down in bed, get comfy, and just close your eyes. Take a few deep, intentional breaths. Then, starting from your toes, slowly bring your awareness to each part of your body. Notice any sensations: warmth, coolness, tingling, pressure. Don't judge them. Don't try to change them. Just notice. Move up your feet, your ankles, your calves, your knees, all the way up to the crown of your head. As you do this, you're not just relaxing your muscles, you're systematically redirecting your mind from its busy thought factory to the physical sensations of your body. It's like giving your brain a new, calming project. Okay, brain, your job now is to notice your left pinky toe. Fascinating. Now, your right knee. This simple focus often disarms the anxiety machine. It pulls you out of the abstract world of worries and into the tangible reality of your body, which is naturally trying to prepare for rest. Next, and perhaps the most fundamental, is breathing techniques. Your breath is always with you, always in the present moment. It's the ultimate mindfulness tool. Simple deep breathing, where you inhale slowly through your nose, hold for a few counts, and exhale even more slowly through your mouth, can work wonders. Try the 4-7-8 breathing technique, popularized by Dr. Andrew Weil. Inhale quietly through your nose for a count of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 7, and then exhale completely through your mouth, making a whoosh sound for a count of 8. Repeat this cycle a few times. This isn't just about oxygen. It's about actively engaging your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system. It literally tells your body, hey buddy, it's time to chill out. It's like hitting the slow down button on your internal engine. For those who find it particularly tough to switch off their minds, despite their best efforts, guided meditations specifically designed for sleep are your new best friend. Seriously, these things are magical. You don't have to figure it out yourself. A calm voice gently guides you through relaxation exercises, visualizations, or calming narratives. It's like having a personal mental valet ushering your thoughts out the door and tucking your brain into bed. There are incredible apps out there that have perfected this art. Think Headspace, Calm, and Insight Timer. They offer vast libraries of sleep stories, some so delightfully dull they're perfect for sleep. Sleep meditations and soothing soundscapes. From gentle rain to ambient forest sounds, these aren't just background noise. They're carefully crafted auditory environments designed to lull your mind into a relaxed state. They provide a focal point, a gentle distraction from your own internal chatter, and slowly but surely, they guide you towards that precious twilight state. The beauty of these practices, from a Stoic perspective, is that they empower you. You're not a victim of your racing thoughts. You're the architect of your attention. You're actively choosing to bring your mind into the present, to anchor it in the now, and to gently release the grip of past worries and future anxieties. By doing so, you're creating a mental environment where sleep isn't a struggle, but a natural, welcomed guest. It's about making peace with the present, and in that peace, finding your way to peaceful sleep. So, next time your mind starts its nightly marathon, remember to ground yourself in the present. Your weary brain will thank you. Gratitude and positive thinking, planting seeds of serenity for sweet dreams. All right, let's sprinkle some sunshine and good vibes into our Stoic sleep regimen with the powerful practices of gratitude and positive thinking. Now, you might be thinking, what does being grateful have to do with sleep? I'm grateful for sleep when I get it. But what about when I'm staring at the ceiling? Excellent question, my friend. And the answer, from a Stoic perspective, is profound. The Stoics weren't about toxic positivity, where you just plaster a smile on your face and pretend everything's rainbows and unicorns. Far from it. They acknowledged the difficulties of life, but they also recognized the immense power of focusing on what is good, what is true, and what is within our control to appreciate. When you practice gratitude, you're actively shifting your mental landscape. You're moving away from the scarcity mindset. I don't have enough sleep. I'm not good enough. This day sucked, and towards an abundance mindset. I have these things. I experienced this joy. I learned that lesson. And guess what happens when your mind naturally shifts towards a more positive outlook? Your stress levels decrease, your body relaxes, and a sense of calm and well-being washes over you. It's like dimming the harsh fluorescent lights of anxiety and turning on the warm, soft glow of contentment. This state of mind is a pre-sleep superpower. It creates a psychological environment where sleep can thrive, rather than being choked out by negativity. So, how do we cultivate this nocturnal gratitude? One of the most effective methods is creating a gratitude journal before bed. This isn't a massive undertaking. It can be as simple as jotting down 3 to 5 things you're genuinely grateful for that day. It could be big things, like a promotion or a heartfelt conversation, or small, seemingly insignificant things, like a perfect cup of coffee, a funny meme, or a dog wagging its tail at you. The key is to find genuine appreciation, no matter how tiny the spark. Imagine this. You've had a rough day. Maybe you spilled coffee on yourself, had a frustrating meeting, and then got stuck in traffic. Your natural inclination might be to stew in all that negativity as you get into bed. But then you pick up your gratitude journal. You pause. You think, okay, maybe the meeting sucked, but I did get to enjoy that amazing lunch. And even though traffic was awful, I listened to a really good podcast. And hey, my cat actually snuggled with me for 5 minutes tonight. As you write these things down, you're actively retraining your brain. You're telling it, yes, there were challenges, but there was also good. There is always good. This simple act of reflection ends your day on a high note, or at least a calming one. It gently shifts your focus from what went wrong to what went right, paving the way for a more restful sleep. It's like giving your brain a warm, fuzzy blanket before bed instead of a cold shower. Beyond journaling, let's talk about positive affirmations. Now, before you roll your eyes and picture yourself chanting, "I am a sleep goddess," in front of a mirror, Though, hey, if that works for you, go for it. Positive affirmations are about subtly reframing negative thought patterns. When you're lying in bed, it's easy for your mind to latch onto worries. I'm never going to fall asleep. I'm going to be exhausted tomorrow. I'm a terrible sleeper. These thoughts are like little sleep vampires, sucking away your peace. Positive affirmations are the stakes you drive through their little batty hearts. Instead of, I'm never going to fall asleep, try something like, my body knows how to rest, and I am allowing myself to relax. Or, I am safe and calm, and sleep will come when it's ready. Or even, I am grateful for this time to rest my body and mind, regardless of how quickly sleep arrives. The power isn't in blindly believing something that isn't true, but in redirecting your focus. When you repeat these positive statements, you're actively choosing to foster a more relaxed and open state of mind. You're not fighting the negative thoughts. You're simply giving your brain something positive and calming to chew on instead. It's a subtle but effective way to shift your internal dialogue from anxious chatter to peaceful anticipation. It's like gently coaxing your brain off the hamster wheel and onto a comfy hammock. The Stoics understood that our inner world profoundly impacts our outer experience. By consciously cultivating gratitude and choosing positive thoughts, especially before bed, you're not just improving your mindset, you're creating a physiological shift. You're signaling to your body and mind that it's safe to relax, to let go, and to embrace the restorative power of sleep. It's about ending your day with a quiet sense of contentment, rather than a cacophony of complaints. And that, my friends, is a direct ticket to dreamland. Putting Stoicism into practice. Crafting your sleep rituals. All right, we've explored the philosophical bedrock. Now it's time to get down to the practical nitty-gritty. Putting Stoicism into practice through your sleep rituals. This is where we take those powerful mental shifts and translate them into concrete actions that signal to your body and mind, hey, it's time for some serious rest. The Stoics were all about self-discipline, routine, and taking control of one's habits. They weren't just thinkers, they were doers. And when it comes to sleep, consistency is king or queen. First up, develop a consistent sleep schedule. This might sound like a no-brainer, but how many of us actually stick to it? Our internal body clock, our circadian rhythm, thrives on regularity. It's like a finely tuned instrument that needs a steady beat. When you go to bed and wake up at roughly the same time every single day, and yes, I'm looking at you, weekend lie-in addicts, you're essentially programming your body to expect sleep at a certain time. From a Stoic perspective, this isn't just about good sleep hygiene. It's a profound act of self-discipline and control over your life. You're not letting your chaotic schedule dictate your sleep. You're choosing to prioritize your well-being by establishing a firm boundary. You're demonstrating your ability to shape your environment and your habits for a better outcome. It's saying, I am the master of my schedule, not the slave of my whims. Think about it. When you randomly crash at 1 a.m. on a Tuesday, then pull an all-nighter on Thursday, and then sleep until noon on Saturday, your body has no idea what's going on. It's like trying to navigate a labyrinth blindfolded. But when you consistently hit the hay around 10 p.m. and wake up around 6 a.m., day in and day out, your body's natural sleep-wake cycle kicks in. Your brain starts releasing melatonin at the right time, your body temperature dips, and you naturally feel tired when it's time to sleep. So, here's the challenge. Create a sleep schedule and stick to it as much as possible, even on weekends. I know, the siren song of sleeping in is strong. But try to limit those weekend deviations to no more than an hour or two. This helps reinforce that consistent signal to your body about when it's time to wind down and when it's time to rise. It's an investment in your energy, your mood, and your overall mental clarity. It's a commitment to yourself, a Stoic act of self-care. Next, let's craft a relaxing bedtime routine. This is where Stoicism's emphasis on creating a calm and peaceful environment truly shines. It's not just about turning off the lights. It's about intentionally preparing your mind and body for the transition from active, waking life to serene, restful sleep. Think of it as a pre-flight checklist for your dream journey. The Stoics understood that our external environment deeply influences our internal state. A chaotic, stimulating environment isn't conducive to inner peace, and certainly not to sleep. So, we need to curate our sleep space and our pre-sleep activities to be as calming as possible. What are some techniques that align perfectly with this? 1. Taking a warm bath or shower. The gentle warmth helps to relax muscles and signal to your body that it's time to unwind. Plus, the slight drop in body temperature after you get out can also help induce sleepiness. It's a soothing sensory experience that washes away the day's stress. Imagine the Stoic philosopher Seneca, after a long day of debating, sinking into a warm bath, letting the day's worries literally dissolve. 2. Reading a physical book, not on a screen. Ditch the phone, the tablet, the laptop. The blue light emitted from screens can suppress melatonin production, making it harder to fall asleep. A good old-fashioned book, however, can be incredibly calming. It engages your mind just enough to distract from worries, but doesn't overstimulate it. Plus, there's something inherently peaceful about turning actual pages. 3. Listening to calming music or a podcast. Opt for instrumental music, ambient sounds, or a gentle, soothing podcast that's not too stimulating. Think classical, lo-fi, nature sounds, or a boring history lecture. The goal is to provide a gentle auditory focus that helps quiet the mental chatter without engaging you too much. 4. Gentle stretching or restorative yoga. A few minutes of gentle stretches can release physical tension accumulated throughout the day. This isn't about working out. It's about mindful movement that prepares your body for stillness. These practices, consistent with Stoic philosophy, are all about intentionality and self-control. You are actively choosing to prepare your mind and body for sleep. You're not just hoping sleep will magically appear, you're creating the optimal conditions for it. It's like setting the table beautifully for a special guest. Sleep, knowing that the more inviting you make the environment, the more likely it is to arrive and stay a while. You're saying, I'm taking responsibility for my rest. I'm creating harmony within myself and my surroundings. Embrace Stoic techniques for sleep, prepping your mind for peace. Okay, buckle up, because now we're diving into some of the deeper, more introspective Stoic techniques that can feel a bit counterintuitive at first, but are incredibly powerful for sleep. Negative visualization, also known as premeditatio malorum, or as I like to call it, mentally. Preparing for the worst so you can appreciate the best and sleep like a log. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, you want me to imagine bad things right before bed? Isn't that like the opposite of what we're trying to do here? And yes, on the surface, it sounds a bit masochistic. But here's the Stoic genius behind it. Negative visualization isn't about dwelling on negativity or manifesting bad outcomes. It's about mentally preparing for potential challenges, accepting their possibility, and thereby reducing their power over you. Think of it this way. Much of our anxiety about sleep, or anything else for that matter, comes from our fear of the unknown, our fear of things not going as planned. What if I can't sleep? What if I'm tired tomorrow? What if I make a fool of myself? These what-ifs are little gremlins that gnaw at our peace. Premeditatio malorum flips the script. Instead of avoiding these what-ifs, you calmly and deliberately consider them. not in a panicked, obsessive way, but in a measured, rational manner. For example, before bed, you might briefly think, "What if I don't fall asleep easily tonight?" Well, I've had nights like that before. I can rest my body, even if my mind is awake. I can read a book or listen to a calming podcast. It won't be the end of the world. What if I wake up feeling groggy tomorrow? I'll still be able to function. I'll take a refreshing shower, grab a coffee, and remind myself that one less than perfect night of sleep doesn't define my entire day. What if that big meeting tomorrow doesn't go well because I'm tired? I've prepared as best I can. I'll do my best in the moment, and I'll learn from whatever happens. My worth isn't tied to one meeting. The point isn't to make these things happen. It's to rob them of their power to surprise and overwhelm you. By mentally confronting these potential anxieties, you're essentially saying, "Okay, brain, I've thought about this worst-case scenario. It's not ideal, but I can handle it. It's not going to shatter me." When you anticipate the potential challenges and realize you have the resilience to cope, those worries lose their ability to keep you wired and awake. They become less terrifying, less urgent. It's like rehearsing for a play. You practice the difficult scenes. You anticipate where you might stumble, so when you're on stage, you're prepared. Similarly, by mentally rehearsing coping strategies for a restless night or a groggy morning, you create a sense of control and equanimity. You move from a state of fear and avoidance to a state of calm acceptance and readiness. Another powerful way to incorporate this technique, and a variation on it, is to use your imagination for positive visualization with a Stoic twist. Instead of just imagining your worries, you can also gently imagine a successful day tomorrow, not in a demanding way, but as a hopeful possibility. You mentally walk through parts of your day, seeing yourself handling challenges with calm and grace, even if you're a bit tired. This isn't about setting rigid expectations. It's about mentally preparing yourself for whatever comes, with a confident, resilient mindset. For instance, you might imagine yourself waking up, feeling grateful for the new day, tackling your morning routine with purpose, and approaching your tasks with focus, regardless of how much sleep you got. This acts as a gentle affirmation that you are capable and resilient, reinforcing your sense of agency. The beauty of these techniques is that they allow you to address potential worries head-on and then release their hold on your mind. You're not suppressing anxiety, you're processing it proactively. You're telling your brain, "We've handled the what-ifs, now it's time to rest." This deliberate mental preparation creates a psychological space for deep relaxation, paving the way for a more restful night's sleep. It's like clearing out the last few mental cobwebs before you snuggle down into bed. Embrace it, experiment with it, and prepare to be surprised by how much peace it can bring. Embrace Stoicism for a restful night and a fuller life. Wow, what a journey we've been on. We've sailed the seas of ancient wisdom, navigated the choppy waters of modern anxiety, and now, my friends, we're ready to dock in the tranquil harbor of a good night's sleep. We've explored how the timeless principles of Stoicism, from accepting what we can't control to mastering our present moment, cultivating gratitude, and building robust daily rituals, can profoundly transform our relationship with sleep. Let's quickly recap the incredible benefits of incorporating these Stoic practices into your sleep habits. We're talking about a significant boost in mental control, empowering you to tame that racing mind and those pesky pre-sleep anxieties. We're talking about substantial stress reduction as you learn to distinguish between what you can change and what you must accept. These practices aren't just about falling asleep faster. They're about empowering you to take charge of your sleep, minimizing the insidious influence of external stressors and anxieties that often keep us tossing and turning. You become the captain of your own ship, steering it towards the shores of slumber, rather than being adrift on a sea of worries. But here's the Stoic reality check. This isn't a magic pill. You won't become a sleep guru overnight. Just like building a strong body or mastering a new skill, incorporating these new routines demands consistency and patience. There will be nights when sleep still feels elusive, when your mind still decides to throw its own private party. And that's okay. The Stoic approach isn't about perfection. It's about consistent effort and resilient adaptation. Embrace those imperfect nights as opportunities to practice your Stoic tools: acceptance, mindfulness, and gentle redirection. Celebrate the small victories, and don't get discouraged by the occasional setback. It takes time for your body and mind to truly integrate new habits. But I promise you, the rewards of better sleep are absolutely worth the effort. And finally, my dear listeners, this isn't just about sleep. While better sleep is a fantastic outcome, the wisdom of Stoicism extends far beyond the bedroom. This philosophy offers a wealth of profound insights and practical tools that can be applied to virtually every aspect of your life. From managing difficult emotions and navigating challenging relationships to finding purpose and cultivating inner peace amidst chaos, Stoicism provides a robust framework for living a more fulfilling, balanced, and truly meaningful existence. So, I wholeheartedly encourage you to explore Stoicism further. Pick up a book by Epictetus, Seneca, or Marcus Aurelius. Dive into online resources. Start a Stoic journaling practice. Apply its principles not just to your sleep, but to your daily interactions, your work, your challenges, and your triumphs. You'll find that the self-mastery you cultivate for better sleep will ripple out, transforming your entire life. Thank you for joining me on this journey. May your nights be peaceful, your dreams be sweet, and your days be filled with Stoic wisdom and unwavering calm. Here's to embracing your inner philosopher and sleeping like a true sage. If you found this video helpful, do us a huge favor. Hit that like button, because it really helps us spread this ancient wisdom to more restless souls. Leave a comment below and share your own favorite Stoic sleep hacks, or tell us which practice you're most excited to try. We love hearing from you. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more practical wisdom, life hacks, and philosophical deep dives. Until next time, stay calm, stay stoic, and sleep well.